Hello, welcome to the weather update today. It's November the 9th, and we're at a fairly sunny day with some clouds skirting just to the south of us, as you'll see on this satellite image. You can see some clouds kind of skirting a little area of marine stratocumulus. You can see it was kind of really over the Jersey Shore, but for the most part, it avoided Long Island. I was a little worried that it was going to hit Long Island and we would have a lot of clouds today. Some of the models are indicating that, but we didn't. Could have gone for a longer Pine Barrens hike, but I didn't. I did do a Pine Barrens hike, but not a long one. With everything going on anyway. So we're going to get our weather out of the way first, then we'll talk about Hurricane Nicole, which is now a hurricane. And so you can see on the map, here are the hurricane warnings for much of Florida. Looks like we've got, let's see, the pink here. That's a hurricane watch, tropical storm warning for, it looks like, Miami and Southwood, but North, Palm Beach, Delray Beach, you're under hurricane warnings. And I have a friend who lives there. Look at this, the whole of Florida. We've got hurricane warning or tropical storm warnings going out here. So let's see what we got here. Hurricane watches. So you can see, look at the large area that this storm is affecting. I know I'm getting right into Nicole. It's hard not to talk about it. The other weather player here, look at all this winter weather breaking out. We got blizzard warnings in effect for parts of North Dakota there, much of North Dakota actually, part of South Dakota. Winter storm warnings, so they're going to get a winter storm and snowfall over there. And so let's put the observations up on the screen here, and you'll see we got some pretty rough conditions over there. 26, dew point 24. They've got some snow going there at Bismarck there. It looks like light mist or whatever. But let's talk about our weather right now. So you can see temperatures are dropping tonight. It's gotten cold. Got the temperatures in the 42. We're going to get some radiational cooling. 34 down in West Hampton already. The mornings are very cold, and what sucks is I have no heat where I live. So yeah, it's just one of the wonderful benefits you get when you have disability is the kind of quality housing you get. 34 in East Hampton. Still holding on to 50 in the city. 43. Don't worry, I'm going to report it. I've had it enough. 34 in, looks like 34 in Jersey as well. So let's go to, this is acting slow again, as you see here. 34 in Lakehurst there. So we're going to see that radiational cooling again tonight. Let's take a look at what the day was like at Islip. So 39 right now at Islip. So you see the radiational cooling. Got into the mid-50s. So it was a little cooler today than yesterday, actually. You can see we had that southeast flow, and I was worried some of these clouds would come in. It looked like Islip was reporting a few of them coming in, but for the most part, they avoided us. We'll also look at West Hampton as well. We're at down to 34, getting that radiational cooling again, really dropping very quickly. Look at how quick it dropped. 34, actually, we've seen it dip down to 33 already. And it looks like they have some clouds coming in. So the clouds are coming in, and that might hold up the temperatures a little bit. So that's why I wanted to show you West Hampton. You can see during the day, it looked like they were reporting clear skies. There may be a few clouds being reported around noon as that cloud bank tried to get in, but it really didn't. But let's see what it was like this morning at West Hampton. I will put the lows down here. They didn't really have any radiational cooling. Okay, so let me put the lows and the highs on here. We'll start with the lows. And put the lows on the screen first. And you can see here, 34 for a low. That's the current temperature at West Hampton, 34. A lot of these lows are being reached now. Some of them were this morning. New Jersey did have radiational cooling, though. The winds did drop down in their Pine Barrens, and they got down to near freezing, it looks like. Except along the coast, of course, where it was warmer, and in the city. So now let's look at our high temperatures. And Jersey might wind up being cooler because of all the cloud cover they had, the Jersey Shore area at least, because they had quite a bit of cloud cover, as you saw when we looked at the satellite for the Jersey Shore. So highs in the mid-50s across Long Island and mid-50s over New Jersey. So fairly close to normal for this time of year. So now let's take this all away and let's take a look at the latest on Nicole. I'm going to actually put this over here so we can get some observations here. So let's get the latest from the National Hurricane Center on Nicole here. The latest public advisor is at 10 p.m. Nicole is approaching the east coast of Florida, bringing strong winds, a dangerous storm surge, and heavy rains. As of 10 p.m., its location is 27.0 north, 78.9 west, about 20 miles north-northeast of Settlement Point, Grand Bahama Island, and about 75 miles east-northeast of West Palm Beach, Florida. Maximum sustained winds are 75 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 13 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 980 millibars, 28.94 inches. And you could see here we've got the hurricane warnings up for much of Florida again. And the extent of hurricane force winds is 25 miles from the center. And tropical storm force winds, this is the biggie here, 485 miles from the center, especially to the north. So it's kind of reminding me of Sandy because it's like almost a superstorm because it's so large in area. A weather flow station at Juno Beach Pier recently reported a wind gust of 55 miles an hour, and a seaman station at Settlement Point on Grand Bahama Island reported a wind gust of 55 miles an hour. So, yeah, this is quite a large storm in area. You can look at this. You can see on the map here. Look at how large that is. I mean, you could fit all of Florida in that, which is crazy. It really is. So let's go to the warning cone right now. And this is your warning cone right here. And you can see, look at the large area that's going to be impacted by this. Much of Florida is going to be impacted by this. It's just crazy. And not just Florida. It's not just one state. You have part of Georgia and South Carolina, too. And then it moves up the coast. And then we have to deal with it Friday night and Saturday. So, yeah, this is a large, large storm. Let's go now and look at some of the images of the storm. I'm going to move this over to the storms view. We'll go to Nicole. So here's Nicole right here, and you can see that convection firing there along there. There it is. So you can see all that convection firing around the center. Look at how large the storm is, especially when you look at it on the look at that is a large storm. It doesn't even do it justice. I should show you the CONUS view so you get to see it on CONUS how large this thing is. We'll put this into a 48-hour loop, I guess. That's not enough. All right, we'll do 96. So look at how large this is. Look at how large that circulation is. I mean, in anything, we're actually already in the outer circulation of it. Because if we pause it right here, you see, look at all these clouds here. This is kind of all part. What it is you have that high building down, and then it's picking up moisture from the ocean, and it's pushing the clouds in. Well, that's what we had along the Jersey Shore. But this is happening because of Nicole. The high is over here. I'll draw this out for you. So the high is over here. You've got your high right over here. All right. And then you have Nicole down here. And you have the gradient between the two that are, so you have the winds coming down. And the high, you can see the winds just coming down like this. So, and this is why the north part of the storm is going to have the worst winds. And this is also bad because this is going to be bad. I think that we're going to see coastal impacts, not just Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, maybe even North Carolina, coastal flooding and beach erosion. So let's go back to the observations here. All right, and we will go and look at the latest going on Nicole because you see some of the conditions already. We've got some wind gusts up to 75. Look at that, 48-mile-an-hour wind gust. This buoy here is a 56. I want to see what the waves are. Wow, 25.9 feet. This is going to be catastrophic storm surge. I think the main thing that this storm is going to be about is going to be the storm surge. A lot of these towns along the Florida coast are going to see massive, massive flooding. Massive flooding. Flooding perhaps like they've never seen before. Even though it's not a big, strong hurricane, it's a large hurricane. And these wave heights here, 52-mile-an-hour wind gusts here at Cape Canaveral. So, yeah, this is what's going on right now. It's look at how far north of the center we are, 47-mile-an-hour wind gusts. See how far this wind circulation goes. Look at this. We're off the coast of South Carolina now. Northeast wind at 36, gusting to 47. So look at these winds that are beginning to affect. Look at how far-reaching this storm is. This is almost a superstorm. 40-mile-an-hour winds. So this is huge here, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So we're going to start seeing that wind. We're going to definitely start seeing that wind impact us. Even though the models, I don't know, they're showing light winds tomorrow. I don't know. I'll have to see because the circulation of this thing is so large. It's incredible. It really is. It really is incredible to see. It really is. It really just is incredible. So I want to also go to the MODIS satellite as well. So let's pull up the MODIS here. So again, this is Nicole right here. You can clearly see it right here. Let's see. There you go. Look at how large she is. Wow. That's incredible. That really is incredible. I'm just speechless. Power outages, not a whole lot going on in Florida right now with the power outages. I think a lot of it's going to be about the storm surge. The storm surge is really just, it's almost in a perfect type of scenario to really destroy the east coast of Florida. And what I'd like to see is, I don't know if Florida 511 has cameras, traffic cameras, but I want to see if they've got some traffic cameras on the, I can see, I already see we got some closures here already. I hope they have evacuated these barrier islands. Flooding already on south, so we're already seeing the flooding already in these areas. Let's see if we can get some cameras here, and maybe it will show us if there's any, doesn't really show us nothing along the barrier islands. Let's go a little further south into the Palm Beaches. They don't really have any traffic cameras in this area, but it does show incidents, and there is going to be flooding. Here we go. Flooding on East Ocean Avenue. Both directions, intracoastal waterway closed. So it's this road right here. So this is going to all flood. A lot of these barrier islands are going to be underwater. All right. Unfortunately, there are no traffic cameras. But we have an idea of, let's see if we can maybe get to EarthCam, maybe, and see if we can find some cameras on that. Flooding on East Oakland. So you can see there's tremendous amounts of flooding already going on. Flooding on A1A. This is by Fort Lauderdale now. So the storm hasn't even arrived. Look at all these flooding reports. We have roads closed here. Look at this flooding on north. This is going to be a catastrophic storm surge event for Florida. That's what I'm going to put it as, because honestly, people aren't really taking this serious. This is going to be catastrophic because of the large size of it. So let me now go to, all right, being that we can't really get any cameras in the area that are affected. I mean, we do have some still have the roads, but you really can't see anything from these highways. Let's see if we can go to EarthCam and see if we can cam Florida. Let's see if we can find some EarthCams from Florida maybe, and let's see what we got here. Florida Marina camera. All right, let's see if we got anything from here. That water looks very high. Let's see if we can. I want to go over the whole state of Florida, though. All right, so let's see if we can find something here. Let's see. Lauderdale by the sea. Well, here's an area. Oh, that's an old one. Oh, boy. Yeah, they're not going to make it easy, are they? They are not going to make it easy. A lot of these are on the... God, they hardly have anything on the East Coast, do they? My gosh. You'd think there'd be something. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's a pier cam. Let's see this one. Maybe this one will work. Can't really see much from here. But I'm telling you, that storm surge has to be bad. And I wish that we had some more cameras to show you how bad it is. But I can't really go on a wild goose chase looking for it. It's weather updates. So, I'll have to do that when I'm done with the weather update. Maybe I'll have another update on Nicole later. Probably will. But you can see the waves that are being reported are absolutely crazy. So, I mean, this is pretty nuts right here. So, let's go to tropical tidbits next. And tropical tidbits, and we go to current storms, and we look at Nicole. And this is another satellite image of Nicole right here. And again, look, that eye looks pretty, I don't know, that eye looks pretty large to me. I mean, you could fit Lake Okeechobee in it. That's a pretty large eye, in my opinion. So let's go take a look at the models here with this storm. That's the latest satellite imagery on it. We can look at the spaghetti models as well. But I think there's a fair agreement on these models as to the track. It does diverge a little bit. It looks like what was the center will wind up going to the west of us. Look at these models go that far out. That's crazy. GEF ensembles. You can see they mostly take it just to our northwest, what is left of it, all right? Which puts us on the right side of the storm, which is the wet side of the storm, and where the LLJ is going to be as well. So we'll have to worry about that for us, all right? So let's go to the models here. We're going to go to these models here and look at southeast U.S. So this, again, is Nicole right here. Going to be making landfall, and this is the GFS here. Going to be making landfall probably around 2 a.m. Right, it looks like north of or just around Palm Beach. All right, and that is quite a lot tightly wrapped circulation. And I think it's going to intensify a little more before it makes landfall as well. So let's go to the wind field. Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna pick up a little more strength. I really do. I think it's going to pick up a little bit more strength. Maybe it's going to get up to 80 to 85 miles an hour. I say it might top out at like between 80 or 85 miles an hour, maximum sustained winds. All right. So it will make a landfall, and then it will lose its wind somewhat. But you could see that flow off the ocean is continuing. Then it's going to make a second landfall on the Panhandle as a tropical storm, and then that circulation gets pushed up. But that is incredible right there. Let me go to the HRRR. That's our next model, which we could use here. All right. This is the HRRR. You see it tightening up a little bit before it makes a landfall right there. You see that tightening up. All right. And all the models agree on that. All right, by the way. So this is your radar simulation here. And, again, you can see there's going to be a lot of rain with this, obviously, too. No surprise. But you see that circulation remains fairly well defined as it goes, and then it goes into the Panhandle and then comes out, and then we're still going to have to deal with the right side of that storm when it gets up our way. All right, so this is going to be a pretty bad storm for the east coast of Florida. Main issue, I think, is going to be there's going to be power outages, but I think the main issue is going to be that storm surge, and it's mainly going to be to the north. It's possible that if it goes north of Palm Beach, that at least Delray and Boca and those areas will be spared. But further up the coast, you're going to have to deal with it. And even into, like I said, even into the Carolinas, there's going to be some pretty big. It's a large storm. It's because the winds are blowing over a large area. It has that much more water to move. All right. So let's go take a look at. That's enough of the model. So let me. Enough of the southeast models. Let's go and take a look at the HRRR here. Large. No, not the HRRR. Let's go to the GFS. All right. So again, this is the 18C GFS. You can see it making landfall, and then for us, we're dry tomorrow, but then that rain starts approaching us on Friday, and this thing is going to race northeastward. So that because of the motion of the storm, and look at how tight the isobars are to the right of that storm, that is going to bring us a lot of wind on Saturday. And we're probably going to need at least a wind advisory, if not a high wind warning for this thing. All right, when it makes its way up our way. So let's go to the northeast now, and we'll show you what's going to happen as we head into tomorrow and the next couple days. So let me go to HRRR here. 0's the HRRR. Obviously, we're dry tomorrow. Nothing to worry about there. You can see a little showers offshore there. It's Friday that we'll have to watch that precipitation start moving to our area. A few showers in the afternoon, and then possibly some heavier showers. Though it looks like we might stay in a more showery pattern because we are, of course, on the right side of the storm. The slug is over here. The slug of the moisture being welled up against the cool air to the west is over here, but to the solid. But we will have showers. It'll be tropical, very tropical out. So when I mean wet, I mean a lot of humidity for sure. So let's go to the GFS. I think that's the only other model I have that's going to take us to anything that far. So we'll show you what's going to happen here with the air mass as we head into tomorrow here on the GFS, and then I'll show you the HRRR as well. So you can see tomorrow we have a west-southwest wind. That's warmer air. Still, relatively dry. The humidity will be a little higher, but then there comes that humidity surging in Friday Friday night, dew points could approach 70. Very strong southerly wind, very tropical. But it's going to be it's going to be in and out. By the afternoon, winds go to the west, air starts drying out. All right. Looking at your total rainfall here, total accumulated precip. It's not as heavy as it originally was, so it's showing only a half an inch to an inch. The heaviest stuff again up against the mountains, it looks like now, because the storm tracking further to the west right now. That's what the latest on the models is. Temperatures. Looking at your temperatures, we will be a lot warmer tomorrow. Here we go. Here are your temperatures. We'll be up into the mid-60s, maybe near 70 in New Jersey. Not dropping us back as much tomorrow night, and then here we are Friday. Cloud cover, but we're still going to make it well into the mid to upper 60s. We stay there all night Saturday night. Maybe even hit 70 in the morning, and then we're still going to be warm when the winds go to the west. The humidity will drop eventually, but the temperatures could still reach near 70 right till at least the early part of Saturday. Then as we get to Sunday, the cold air comes back, struggling to reach the low 50s on Sunday. Monday, we're only in the 40s. All right. Let me go to the HRRR next. And we will look at your temperatures on the HRRR and dew points as well. So here you go. Tonight, we're probably not going to radiate as much because of those clouds, but we're still going to see some 40s, I think. Though 30s possible. Once the clouds come in, I think that puts a lid on it. Tomorrow, you'll see it will be a little cooler on Long Island, low to mid-60s. Jersey, I think you're going to hit 70. Cooling off again tomorrow night, probably into the low 50s. And then here we are Friday. Look at that, going right into the mid to upper 60s with that tropical air. Let's go look at the temperatures. So here are the temperatures, and you can see. Actually, I did do the temperatures already. What am I saying? That was the temperatures. I wanted to show the dew points on here. There we go. So dew points still stay comfortable tomorrow, but they will be coming up, especially toward tomorrow evening, tomorrow the afternoon, and then here comes that humid air surging in on Saturday. So the other aspect of this is the wind, of course. Now, of course, this is only going to go out so far with the rainfall. You can see it's kind of showery. All right. The wind is the concern right here. So let's shift this over to the wind here. All right, so you can see the wind, the winds on the right side. Actually, the winds don't look terrible on this model here, but if we go to the GFS, I think it's going to look a little worse. It doesn't look too bad. Oh, yeah, here we go. So here, that's because it doesn't go far enough out. So right that Saturday morning, right ahead of that cold front, we're going to have some very strong wind gusts. Looks like the worst of it offshore, but this could cause some coastal flooding for us, too. Winds close to 50, and then that moves out, and we see the northwest winds on the backside. So lastly, I'll look at the skies for our area before we go back and look at Nicole again. This is the GFS 18Z run for the skies. Keeps tomorrow mostly sunny. Obviously, clouds coming Friday, and we're kind of dealing with the clouds, and then maybe later Saturday we're out of it. RGEM, I'll just show you the RGEM, the other cloud model that we have. Keeping us mostly sunny tomorrow as well. And then we might start off with a few of those low clouds in the morning, but then they'll be mostly sunny. But again, Friday, we'll have those clouds come in earnest here. And you can see that right there. But then it tries to maybe clear it out later Saturday. We'll have to see what happens with that. There's a model that disagrees with all of this, though, and that's the NAM. It seems to have that cloud layer, that marine cloud layer, kind of just sitting there. It's the only one that does that. All right. Let me go back to the windy site here, and we'll go back to Nicole. So let's go back to Nicole, talk about Nicole one more time here. And you will see, here she is right here in all her glory. We go to wind gusts here. This is, again, looking at windy, which is the Showery, you see, close to 70 there. So it's pretty close to what's going to be happening. And it makes that landfall right around 2 a.m. probably, right around, looks like, all right, so it looks like it's going to go north of Palm Beach now. On the European has it going north of Palm Beach. So Palm Beach may avoid the worst, but it looks like it's heading more toward Vero Beach now for a landfall. But all these areas north of it, this is the main concern here. And the winds don't look that crazy. It's going to be the waves that are going to be crazy. Because look at this. All right, so again, what I'm saying, it's going to be a bad storm surge event. All right, you got 25, 30 footers out on the open ocean. At the shoreline, you're going to be having 16 to 20 foot waves crashing in. This is going to be a major storm surge. All right. And you can see, look at how far its reaches are. Look at how far reaching the effects are from this storm. All right, here we are into, all right, this is right now, actually. So we go into tomorrow. You see, we're still dealing with it in Florida here, 5 a.m. Still dealing with it. It's going to be prolonged. because the storm is going to stay to the west of the east coast of Florida, which keeps those wave heights high. And so we're going to be seeing this storm surge continue. Here we are, and then it moves into affecting the Carolinas here. So again, here you go. And eventually it's going to work its way into our area as we get later into Friday and Saturday. You see that storm surge moving up the east coast. Here we are Saturday. Look at this. So this is Saturday, 5 a.m. when we're going to be at our worst. Look at this. 14 footers out on the shore, probably offshore, 15 to 20 footers, and 10 footers at our beaches. So there's going to be some coastal flooding for our area too as well. And then it finally moves on. I do want to show the winds here, so let me go to wind and wind gusts before we wrap this up here. And this is what the European model has. Again, showing for wind gusts in our area, 4 a.m., the worst of the worst. Winds could be approaching, gusting up to 50 miles an hour, gusting up to, 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts. As far as sustained winds go, it won't be too bad inland, but if you're on the shore, you're going to have those sustained winds, probably gales at least. So that is going to wrap up this weather update, and I'll probably have another update for you on Nicole, before the night is done, or sometime in the wee hours of the morning. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.